Welcome to Sib Spot. Today's featured Reddit stories are from Am I the A-Hole? Story 1 today is by ThrowRA12P. Am I the a-hole for not defending a girl I barely know after she was kicked out of the friend group for asking to be paid? I'm a 21 female and I have a group of 6 friends. 2 months ago, a new girl, Jane, who's 22, was introduced to that group. For context, one thing our friend group does is trade services. For example, I'll do one of my friend's nails for free and she'll do my hair for free when I need it doing in the future. We generally try to keep the trades within the same price range. For example, if my hair costs £60, I'll trade doing nails for £60 or £70. Anything over £10 is usually paid on top of the free service. If my hair costs £60 and the nails are £100, my friend will pay me £40. To be clear, there is zero obligation to do these trades, and to my knowledge, no one has been pressured into one. It's all about favors and doing nice things for your friends. Anyways, Jane joins the group 2-ish months ago and immediately starts asking about my nails. At one point, she says she can't afford to get hers done right now, so I asked her if she wanted to do a trade. Jane makes her own t-shirts, clothing, and accessories. The nails I ended up doing on her cost £160. When it was my turn to pick clothes and accessories, I ended up leaving with about £70 worth. I told her not to worry about paying me back with the £90. All in all, I thought it was a good experience and I got to talk to Jane one-on-one. It was fun. Until Wednesday, the 11th of December. I get a text from Jane apologizing and saying she really can't afford to just give away £70 worth of her stuff and she needs me to pay her ASAP or she needs the stuff back. At first, I'm really confused because I could not have been more clear about how the trade works, and I never forced her into one. I apologized back to her, but said I didn't have some of the smaller items as I planned to gift them to my sister for her birthday. Jane then kept telling me to just pay her back. I said I would when I get paid from my job. The issue then became her texting. She went to the group chat to complain about me not paying her for the clothes she gave me. She ended up letting it slip it was a trade and everyone told her she can't back out of a deal weeks after it happened. She ended up taking to TikTok to complain about how I stole from her and am refusing to pay her back. In response, she was kicked out of the friend group. However, now the group is split. Half say I should have just paid her as she does seem to genuinely be struggling, while the other half say I'm under no obligation to pay her due to the agreed terms of the trade. The first group thinks I'm kind of an a-hole, and Jane definitely thinks I am. So, am I the a-hole? This one is so easy, it's insane. And I don't know why people are standing up for her. She's a new friend of the group, and she's trying to take advantage of you. And for all of you that are out there and completely shocked at the price of nails being £160, it's not uncommon. I've never actually had professional nail work done, but some of them can be very pricey. And they look quite nice, too. But yeah, £160 for getting your nails done with certain professional jobs is not unreasonable. So she stiffed you, basically. You guys decided on a trade. You're going to give her $100 and she's going to give you $50 in return. And then she wants the $50 back. It's not the exact math of this, but that's what she's doing. You guys agreed upon a trade. She shorted you and you said don't worry about it. And then she tried to say you stole from her? Not hard at all. She is 100% in the wrong. Anybody out there knows that she's in the wrong. She stiffed you for a large portion of the nails that you did for her. She gave you £70 worth of stuff. You gave her £160 worth of stuff. It doesn't matter if it's just nails. Yes, they can be very expensive. And if that's the going price, she stiffed you on this. And then she wants you to pay the £70 worth of stuff. She's a new friend to the group too. She's no longer your friend. It's an easy one. You're not the a-hole. She is way in the wrong, and so are all your friends that are siding with her. Just because there's a new friend in the group and she's struggling doesn't mean you have to offer her charity, especially since she needed a £160 nail job. Our next story today is by Guestroom Debacle. Am I the a-hole for sacrificing the guest room instead of the office space? My husband and I live in a 3-bedroom apartment. We sleep in the master bedroom, and until earlier this year, the other two were a guest room and an office space we both shared. Our first child was born in October, and we decided to turn the guest room into his nursery. We thought about sacrificing the office instead, but decided we needed it more than the guest room. I work on site, but also do some freelancing from home, and my husband works hybrid. We don't need to do our work from the office, but it's more comfortable and less chaotic, especially now that we have a baby. On the other hand, we rarely have guests over. If we do, the office is big enough to set a mattress on the floor. My father lives in a different country. He's traveling here for Christmas in about a week, and this will be the first time meeting my son in person. Last time he came, I was pregnant and we still had the guest room, so he stayed there during his visit. A couple weeks ago, my father called to ask whether he could stay at my apartment again this year. I said sure, but we don't have the guest room anymore, so he'd have to sleep in the office. He asked what I meant, and I told him we turned our guest room into the baby's nursery. He then asked why I hadn't gotten rid of the office instead. I explained my and my husband's reasoning. My father got annoyed and said, "Whatever, I'll get a hotel," before hanging up on me. The next day, my father texted me. He said it was selfish and inconsiderate of me and my husband to keep an office we don't actually need over a room to properly house potential guests. He added that he didn't raise me to be such an awful hostess, and it's insane of me to think people would be okay sleeping on a mattress on the floor. My sister is siding with my father, and I'm starting to doubt myself here. Am I the a-hole? Your father is a whiny jerk. It's insane of him to think that he or anyone else you know is entitled to a guest bedroom that's all dolled up for them for when they happen to visit, instead of using the office which you guys regularly use. You turn the guest bedroom into the nursery. You use the office space. It's your home. You can do with it what you want. Make him stay at a hotel and tell your sister off. She does not need to be involved in this little spat with your dad. He can go to the hotel. He thinks you're such a horrible hostess because you don't have a private bedroom for him that's waiting for his arrival. Tough. Go to the hotel. If he's this entitled, he deserves to be angry. If he wants to pay for a new house so that you can have a guest bedroom and an office and a nursery, he's welcome to do that. Otherwise, he can just be dismissed. Our last story today is by Few Needle Worker 7044. Am I the a-hole for refusing to buy my son a cosmetic in a video game for $300? This one hits close to home. So I'm a 40-year-old female and I have a son who's 10 who likes to play a very popular video game. I've never had any issues with it, and he has not shown any concern so far. Yesterday he asked me if I could buy him something from the game. Normally, I'm not a fan of buying things in video games, but since Christmas is coming up, I was willing to make an exception. I was thinking it would be around $25, maybe $50 at the most, and I could deal with that. But no, it was $300. It was some skin, or whatever they call it these days, essentially to look cool in-game. My issue is not that I cannot afford it, because I easily could. My issue is that he wants something in a video game, something that is essentially useless, for that amount of money. With that much money, I could buy something physical that he could actually use. His father, who's 52, is calling me selfish and unreasonable for not buying this, telling me to lighten up because it's Christmas. We fought over this a lot. Forgot to add, I tried to explain to him calmly that with $300 we could buy him so many bigger and better things. He blew up on me. I said the same thing to my son, and he seemed to be receptive. He was much more upset than my son was. My son literally could not care less and said it was chill and went back to playing like nothing happened. Now, if he threw a fit over wanting this skin badly, I would understand my husband's frustration. But that's not the case here. Seemed he could care less either way. I told him about his reaction, but he's still insisting we buy this thing. Am I in the wrong for not wanting to spend so much money on this skin in a literal video game? Edit, to address some comments. 1, as many of you guessed, it's from the League of Legends game, and it's the Jinx skin. I think that's what it's called. I searched it up and it is in fact $250, though my son had showed me a picture and told me it was pretty much $300. His words, not mine. 2, we are an upper middle class family. We both work jobs with around the same income. We are not crazy rich but live comfortably. We try to be mindful and aware of spending money on non-essential items though, and I have been trying to teach my son with this value. 3, yes, I am married to my husband, but will not be revealing more information about our relationship in the slightest chance he finds this post. 4, I am sorry if I sounded dismissive of the value video games have. I also played video games when I was a kid, so I 100% understand the enjoyment it can bring to people. I am willing to spend a bit, perhaps up to $50 just for one time, even if it's for temporary enjoyment, if it makes him happy as a Christmas gift. But I just personally think that $300, or now I know it's $250, is a bit much for that. I would be more than happy to spend that amount of money on other games he could play instead of this one thing for this one game. I'm going to talk to him again and tell him that he can choose between this $250 skin or the other physical things he wants, which are in total $300, and it's his decision in the end. Thank you to those who have offered this solution. Okay. I am close personally with somebody who spent more than that on a skin several years ago. You cannot change what somebody wants that will make them feel better. If you really can afford to get this, it doesn't matter how frivolous it seems to you. If you can afford to get it and that's what he really wants, and he's 10, he should not want a $300 skin. But if this is for some reason what he really wants, you're being a little petty by not getting it for him. If money is no object for you, why wouldn't you get it for him? You're mad because you don't see it has any value? If he plays this game and he spends a significant amount of time playing this game and he's already told you, this will make me happy, and you can afford to, then get it for him. That right there, I think, is the perfect solution. You should definitely not dismiss what he wants, but there definitely is something you want to consider in this kind of game. This is a heavy PvP focused game. It means that players are going to be playing against players. And people like your son who buy an expensive skin often get targeted by people. They'll go out of their way if they see your son and they'll pile on him. It happens on the internet all too frequently. I want you to be aware of that. In a PvP game, make him aware. I mean, he can disable it if he gets bullied or picked on or, gets attacked more frequently because he has a skin, I guess. If he wants it though, and you have the money for it, get it for him. But also be aware that it can cause people to treat him differently. Our stories for today have come to a close. Until we meet again, have a glorious day.